Congratulations to you who see these signs. In the journey of life, where every soul stands between moments of weakness and moments of strength, between sin and repentance, there lies a profound truth. Allah's mercy is boundless. He does not abandon his servants, even when they falter. Instead, he lovingly extends his guidance, gently leading us back to him. Have you ever paused to reflect on whether you might already be walking the path of righteousness, even when you feel far from it? Today, we are about to uncover 5 profound signs that you may be among those chosen for righteousness, even if your journey has been marked by stumbles. These signs are not just a measure of where you are, but a testament to how much Allah loves and values you. The question is, can you recognize them within yourself? The Quran beautifully reminds us, indeed, Allah loves those who constantly turn to Him in repentance and loves those who purify themselves. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:22. This verse is a beacon of hope. It tells us that righteousness is not about never making mistakes. It's about constantly returning to Allah with humility, seeking His forgiveness, and striving to purify your heart. Before we dive into these signs, take a moment to reflect on Allah's mercy in your own life. Can you feel His presence in the moments you've struggled, yet found strength to rise again? Share your thoughts below. Send your blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you may inspire others to reflect on their own journey, and perhaps even recognize that they too are among the chosen. Are you ready to discover these powerful signs that may be hidden within you all along? Let's begin. Sign 1. Feeling genuine regret. Have you ever felt an overwhelming weight on your heart after committing a wrong action? It's not just guilt, it's something much deeper. That discomfort, that inner turmoil, is your soul speaking to you. It's a signal from Allah, a whisper reminding you that your actions have drifted from the path that pleases Him. But here's the beautiful truth. This feeling is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of life. A sign that your heart is still connected to Allah and capable of returning to Him. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Regret is repentance." Ibn Majah. Think about what this means. The simple act of feeling genuine regret for your actions is itself the beginning of your journey back to Allah. It's His way of showing you that your heart hasn't been hardened, that you are still among those He calls to Him. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And those who, when they commit an immorality or wrong themselves, remember Allah and seek forgiveness for their sins. And who can forgive sins except Allah? And who do not persist in what they have done while they know." Surah Ali Imran 3:135. Regret is not a punishment, it's a gift. It's Allah's mercy manifesting in your heart, awakening you to the reality of your actions. It's a chance to turn back before the consequences of those actions consume you. Imagine a fire alarm going off in the middle of the night. Would you ignore it and stay in the building, or would you take immediate action to protect yourself? That's exactly what regret is for your soul. An alarm urging you to take action, to seek forgiveness, and to reconnect with Allah before it's too late. Picture this. A young woman once prayed 5 times a day without fail, finding comfort and strength in her prayers. But as life became busier, she began to skip one prayer, then another. Soon her routine dissolved entirely, and she felt herself drifting away. Yet one day, while sitting alone, she felt a deep ache in her heart, a sense of emptiness she couldn't shake. That feeling was regret. It was her heart's way of pulling her back to Allah, reminding her of what she had lost. She took that moment as a sign, performed wudu, and prayed for the first time in months, tears streaming down her face as she begged Allah to forgive her and help her return to Him. What about you? Have you ever felt a similar ache, a moment where you knew deep inside that something wasn't right? Did you act on it, or did you let it pass, hoping it would fade away? What if that feeling was Allah's way of telling you, "I have not forgotten you. I am still calling you back to me. Regret is not an ending, it's the beginning of a beautiful journey. The Quran reassures us. Say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Indeed, it is He who is the forgiving, the merciful. Surah Az-Zumar 39:53. If you've ever felt regret, don't suppress it, embrace it. Let it motivate you to seek forgiveness and to rebuild your relationship with Allah. Regret is proof that your heart is still alive, that you are still among those Allah has chosen to guide. The question is, will you answer His call? Will you let your regret lead you back to Him? The opportunity is yours. Seize it. Sign 2. Drawn to good deeds. Have you ever found yourself unexpectedly drawn toward an act of worship, like opening the Quran, praying an extra prayer, or attending the mosque without prior intention? Perhaps it was a quiet evening, and something inside whispered for you to pick up the Quran and read just one verse. Or maybe you passed by a mosque and felt an unexplainable urge to step inside. These moments are not coincidences. They are signs, gentle nudges from Allah, calling you back to Him. When you experience this pull toward goodness, it's a profound indication that Allah is opening the doors of mercy for you. Imagine being lost in a dense forest, wandering aimlessly without direction. Then suddenly you stumble upon a map, a guide pointing you towards safety. This is exactly what happens when you feel inclined to perform good deeds. Allah, in His infinite mercy, is showing you the way to Him, reminding you that no matter how far you've strayed, the path back is always within reach. The Quran tells us, and those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways. And indeed, Allah is with the doers of good. Surah Al-Ankabut 29:69. Every act of worship, no matter how small, is a gift from Allah. That moment when you feel the urge to pray, to give charity, or to recite even a single verse is not random. It's Allah actively guiding your heart, awakening you to His presence, and inviting you to draw closer. These moments are precious beyond measure because they represent Allah's love and care for you. Consider this. A man who rarely attended the mosque suddenly feels a strong desire to join the congregation for Fajr prayer. He wakes up earlier than usual, makes wudu, and arrives at the mosque just in time. As he prays, a sense of peace washes over him, and for the first time in a long time, he feels truly connected to Allah. This wasn't just an ordinary morning, it was a moment of divine intervention. Allah planted that desire in his heart as a means to guide him back. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "When Allah wills good for a servant, He facilitates for him the doing of righteous deeds." Sahih al-Bukhari. Reflect on your own life. Have you experienced moments like these? Times when you felt an unexplained inclination toward a good deed? Perhaps you brushed it off, thinking it was insignificant, or maybe you embraced it and found your heart uplifted. Whatever the case, know that these moments are not to be taken lightly. They are Allah's way of showing you that He has not forgotten you, that His mercy is vast, and that He wants you to succeed. The next time you feel drawn to a good deed, seize the moment. Don't delay or tell yourself you'll do it later. These inclinations are like windows of opportunity, and they may not stay open forever. The Quran says, "Hasten to forgiveness from your Lord, and a garden as wide as the heavens and the earth, prepared for the righteous." Surah Ali Imran 3:133. So, when was the last time you felt this pull toward goodness? Did you act on it, or did you let it pass? What if that moment was Allah calling you back to Him, offering you a chance to strengthen your bond with Him? The next time your heart feels drawn to worship, let it lead you. Let it be the moment you say yes to Allah's call, and watch how He opens even more doors of mercy and guidance for you. Sign 3. Surrounding yourself with good company. Have you ever met someone whose presence felt like a spark of light in your life? Perhaps their words resonated deeply within your heart, or their actions reminded you of what it means to live a life pleasing to Allah. Maybe you stumbled upon a lecture, video, or even a simple post that left a lasting impact on your soul. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are deliberate signs from Allah, strategically placed in your life to guide you back to Him. Allah, in His infinite mercy, sends us reminders in the form of people and experiences, especially when our faith begins to waver. The Quran beautifully emphasizes the importance of staying close to those who bring us closer to Allah, and keep yourself patient with those who call upon their Lord in the morning and the evening, seeking His countenance, and let not your eyes pass beyond them, desiring adornments of the worldly life. Surah Al-Kahf 18:28. This verse reminds us of the value of good company, people who spend their lives seeking Allah's pleasure and who remind us to do the same. Being around such individuals shields us from the distractions of the dunya, worldly life, and redirects our focus to what truly matters, our connection with Allah and the eternal hereafter. Good company is not just a blessing, it is a safeguard for your faith. When you surround yourself with people who consistently strive for righteousness, their actions and words inspire you to elevate your own faith. They help you stay steadfast in prayer, remind you to seek forgiveness, and encourage you to pursue good deeds. These individuals are like lanterns, illuminating the path back to Allah when the world seems dark. Imagine a young woman who feels distant from her faith. One day, she attends a community gathering and meets a group of sisters who warmly welcome her and share inspiring reminders about Allah's mercy and forgiveness. Their sincerity touches her heart, and she begins to spend more time with them. Slowly but surely, she starts praying regularly, reading the Quran, and even attending lectures. These new companions didn't just become her friends, they became her lifeline to faith, sent by Allah at precisely the right moment. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, gave us a timeless reminder about the power of companionship. A person is upon the religion of his close friend, so let one of you look at whom he befriends. Sunan Abu Dawud. Now pause for a moment and reflect. Who are the people you spend most of your time with? Do they encourage you to pray, to seek knowledge, and to grow closer to Allah? Or do they pull you away from Him, distracting you with worldly pursuits and fleeting pleasures? Your companions play a pivotal role in shaping your spiritual journey. If Allah has blessed you with good company, He is showing you His mercy in the most profound way. But Allah's guidance doesn't always come through people. Sometimes it arrives unexpectedly through a video, a lecture, or even a simple phrase you come across online. Perhaps you've watched a short clip about the beauty of prayer and it stirred something in your heart. Or maybe you heard a scholar speak about repentance and it brought tears to your eyes. These moments are not accidental. They are Allah's way of reaching out to you, reminding you that He is near. The Quran describes the beauty of believers who uplift one another. The believing men and believing women are allies of one another. They enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong. Surah At-Tawbah 9:71. Good company doesn't just remind you of Allah, it also protects your faith when you are at your weakest. When you are surrounded by those who encourage you to worship and avoid sin, they act as a shield against the whispers of Shaitan. They help you stay accountable, ensuring that your actions align with your intentions to seek Allah's pleasure. Let's take a moment to reflect on your own life. Have you ever encountered someone or something that inspired you to turn back to Allah? Maybe it was a friend who reminded you to pray, or a scholar whose words reignited your faith. Did you recognize that moment as a sign from Allah, or did you dismiss it as coincidence? What if that person, that video, or that experience was Allah's way of reaching out to you, of showing you that He has not forgotten you? If you are blessed with good company, cherish it. Nurture those relationships and let them strengthen your bond with Allah. If you feel that such companionship is missing in your life, don't despair. Make dua, asking Allah to guide you to people who will uplift and inspire you. Take steps to seek out gatherings of knowledge, visit the mosque, or connect with individuals whose faith shines brightly. Every person or moment that draws you closer to Allah is a sign of His immense love and mercy for you. He is actively guiding you, protecting your faith, and providing you with the tools to succeed. The question is, will you embrace these blessings and let them transform your life? Or will you let these precious opportunities slip away? The choice is yours, and the time to act is now. Sign 4. Losing interest in what distracts you from Allah. Have you ever noticed that things you once found enjoyable, whether it's endless entertainment, gossip, or fleeting worldly pleasures, don't satisfy you the way they used to? It's as if the allure of those distractions has faded, leaving you searching for something more meaningful. This transformation is not accidental. It's a sign that Allah is working on your heart, guiding it toward what truly matters. The Quran beautifully captures this phenomenon. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13-28. When your heart begins to yearn for something greater than the temporary joys of this world, it's a sign that Allah is drawing you closer to Him. The distractions of the dunya, worldly life, which once seemed so enticing, now feel hollow. You may find yourself turning off the television, walking away from idle conversations, or even re-evaluating the company you keep. This isn't just personal growth, it's spiritual refinement. Allah is purifying your heart and preparing it for a higher purpose. Think about it. The heart, when unfulfilled, instinctively seeks something more profound. At one point, you may have thought happiness could be found in material success, endless entertainment, or social validation. But no matter how much you indulged, it never seemed to fill the emptiness inside. That void is a sign that your heart is awakening to its true calling, a connection with Allah. Allah tells us in the Quran, "Know that the life of this world is but amusement and diversion and adornment and boasting to one another and competition in increase of wealth and children, like the example of a rain whose resulting plant growth pleases the tillers. Then it dries, and you see it turn yellow. Then it becomes scattered debris. And in the hereafter is severe punishment and forgiveness from Allah and approval. And what is the worldly life except the enjoyment of delusion?" Surah Al-Hadid 57:20. This verse reminds us that the dunya is fleeting, like a beautiful flower that eventually withers and fades. Losing interest in these distractions is a sign that your soul is beginning to see the world for what it truly is, a temporary place of testing, not a destination. Imagine someone who once spent hours scrolling through social media, watching countless videos, or engaging in endless conversations that served no purpose. At the time, it felt like an escape, a way to pass the time. But now, those same activities feel empty. They no longer bring the excitement or satisfaction they once did. Instead, this person begins to feel a pull toward acts of worship, praying, reading Quran, or simply sitting in quiet reflection. This shift isn't random, it's Allah calling their heart back to Him. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever gives up something for the sake of Allah, Allah will replace it with something better." Musnad Ahmad. This hadith is a powerful reminder that when you let go of things that distract you from Allah, He replaces them with something far greater. Peace, contentment, and a sense of purpose that no worldly pleasure can provide. Reflect on your own life. Are there things you once prioritized that no longer hold the same value? Have you found yourself questioning why you spend time on activities that don't benefit your soul? If so, consider this a gift from Allah. He is softening your heart and redirecting it toward what truly matters. When you feel this transformation happening, don't resist it. Embrace the shift and allow it to guide you to a more meaningful existence. Use the time you once spent on distractions to remember Allah, to pray, or to engage in acts of kindness. These seemingly small steps can have a profound impact on your spiritual journey. The Quran encourages us, but the hereafter is better and more enduring. Surah Al-A'la 87:17. So ask yourself, what worldly distractions are holding you back? What could you gain by letting them go and focusing on Allah instead? The fact that you're even asking these questions is a sign that your heart is already on the path to purification. Don't ignore this call. It's an opportunity to transform your life and reconnect with your Creator in ways you never imagined. The emptiness you feel from worldly distractions is not a loss. It's an invitation. Allah is preparing your heart for something greater, something eternal. Will you accept it? Sign 5. Being tested with small trials. Have you ever faced small frustrations, unexpected setbacks, or minor difficulties and wondered why they happen? Perhaps you lost something valuable, faced a sudden challenge at work, or felt overwhelmed by a seemingly trivial issue. These moments are not punishments, but opportunities. They are subtle yet powerful ways Allah invites you to reflect, grow, and turn back to Him. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, tests His servants not to harm them, but to elevate their faith and purify their hearts. The Quran reassures us, indeed, with hardship comes ease. Surah Ash-Shar 94:6. This verse is a reminder that every trial, no matter how small, is paired with a promise of relief. These tests are Allah's way of nurturing your soul, gently pushing you to rely on Him and recognize that He is the ultimate source of comfort and guidance. Trials, even the minor ones, serve as reminders that this world is not our final destination. They pull us away from complacency, reminding us of our dependence on Allah and our need to seek His help. Imagine walking a path that is slightly rocky. Each stone you step on may momentarily hurt, but it also makes you more mindful of where you are going, guiding you to tread carefully and stay focused. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "No fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for it." Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith emphasizes that even the smallest inconvenience, like a thorn prick, serves a greater purpose in the life of a believer. Every trial, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a chance to draw closer to Allah, to purify your heart, and to increase your rewards in the hereafter. Consider this example. A young man faces constant delays and frustrations during his daily commute. One day, after being stuck in traffic for hours, he feels an overwhelming urge to make dua, supplication, instead of complaining. As he calls upon Allah, he experiences a sense of calm and clarity that wasn't there before. What changed? It wasn't the traffic, it was his response to the test. The trial pushed him to remember Allah, and in doing so, he found peace. The Quran reminds us of Allah's closeness during these moments. "And when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed I am near. I respond to the invocation of the supplicant when he calls upon me." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:186. These small tests are Allah's way of calling you back to Him. When you face difficulties, big or small, and turn to Allah in dua, you strengthen your connection with Him. And the peace you feel after making dua is not just emotional relief. It's a sign that your bond with Allah is growing. It's a reflection of His mercy, showing you that He listens, understands, and answers. Reflect on your own life. Have you recently faced small challenges that made you pause and reflect? Did you use those moments to call upon Allah, or did you let them pass as mere inconveniences? What if those trials were specifically designed for you, not to burden you, but to awaken your heart and bring you closer to your Creator? The next time you encounter a small test, remember, it's not just a trial, it's an opportunity to turn to Allah, to seek His help, and to grow spiritually. Every frustration, every lost item, and every moment of discomfort is a reminder that Allah is near and that He wants you to succeed. The Quran says, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. Surah Al-Baqarah 286. So, take comfort in knowing that whatever trial you face, no matter how small, is within your capacity to overcome. These tests are tailored for you, designed to help you grow and strengthen your relationship with Allah. Embrace them, respond with patience, and turn to Him in gratitude and prayer. Ask yourself, how can you use these trials to grow closer to Allah? What if each small difficulty is actually a divine opportunity to purify your heart and elevate your faith? When you recognize trials as signs of Allah's care for you, they no longer feel like burdens. They become blessings. Will you embrace them as such?